Hi guys, there are many people who ask me this question, what is the right age to start coding? Whether it's a school time or when the kids are in college or when they join the job, when the company will give them the formal training, so that should be the right age. So what should be the right age? So I'll try to tell you about my views in this short video. But before that, uh, you would agree with me that nowadays 80% of the people are joining IT industry, whether they do computer science or they do whether they do IT or MCA, the computer based branches, or they do non-computer based branches, whether it's a civil or textile or mechanical, they end up doing computer job. 80% of people. Now there's a new trend. Even the people who do BSc, even not the BTech, not the even the engineering courses, they are end up taking software job. And when these people join organization, either they are doing a coding job, or they are doing testing, or they're doing business analysis. So for all these profiles, you need to have a knowledge of coding. Either you have need to be hands-on on coding or should have a knowledge on coding. So my answer to the question when should kids start coding is when they're at a school level. I had done that when I was in school, and I know how what difference it makes. I'll tell you the reasons why it makes a difference. Children learn faster. You would agree. Their learning comprehend skills, their understanding is faster than the grown up like us. And like people learn music, people learn sports, people learn other activities. They always start at early stage. And coding is also one of those skills. Another reason that children are fearless. For example, in the US, they say if you have to learn skiing, then the best time is when you are at the age of 5, when you are in a kindergarten. And when you do that, you learn it like anything, so fast. Whereas when grown up tries to learn skiing, he has so much fear in his mind. I tried that, I failed. I tried a couple of times. But when kids go, they in two sittings, they learn skiing like it's for them. It's very easy because there's no fear in their mind. And for coding, again, fear is important because there's so much to learn in coding. They get overwhelmed. If you start at a later stage and you start with the pressure on your mind to learn, you get overwhelmed. But kids, they don't have a fear in their mind, so that's the right age to do. And then it's very easy to teach kids because their mind is raw and you can nurture their mind, and it's empty too. Because if cup is half empty, there's a chance you can fill it. But if it is totally full, you cannot pour anything into it. And that happens when try to teach coding at a later stage. And then it's like all other skills, whether it's a sports or music, you need to spend years to learn it. Music you cannot learn in a year or so, and that too is true for sports. Same as the coding. If you have done years, if you have spent years in coding, you end up to be a better programmer, better software coder. So if you start at early stage, maybe fifth to ninth, that's the right age. But because in 10th you have to focus on your preparatory exams. And then in college, the first 2 years you're always into fun mood and socializing and all. And then in third year you just start focusing on your job. So you don't get the time which you need to practice coding. You just learn it as you read a book. But it's not that you have to practice by hand. Like you cannot learn sports like hockey and cricket by reading books or just watching other people playing. You need to do it. You need to do it. You need to go and play and learn skills. And same is true for coding. So you need some time. So if you start early, you get that time. And then one of the most important reason is the passion. So it's like a skill. For example, you cannot learn music if you're not passionate about it. You cannot, become an artist unless you're passionate about it. And same is true for coding. And that is the reason if you compare a programmer, you know, in I don't want to say this, but that's the true. Some Indian programmer versus somebody who's in like in US or in Europe, there's a huge difference because in international in foreign countries, people go into coding just because they are passionate, they love coding. But here we most of the people, they're going just because most of the jobs are into coding. So passion makes a huge difference. If you're passionate about coding, you can learn it like this. You enjoy it. So if you start at early stage, there is a chance that passion can be built inside you. You can identify your passion because there's no, you have like, if you do it at a later stage, you have other so much pressure in your mind, so you don't able to realize that whether you're passionate about this or not. So if you start early, you can identify your passion. If you're not passionate, if you don't like it, maybe there's no harm. You can just track. You can just follow a different line. You can just follow a different track. But try to that's, and then this is another very important reason that if you learn coding, and suppose you don't want to become a software programmer, you don't like, maybe at later stage you realize you just know it's not your cup of tea. But still coding helps if you learn at an early stage, because when you do coding, it helps you know improving your analytical and logical skills. It helps making logical structures in your mind. If when you think logically, for example, if you have to draw a flow chart of finding a largest number from a set of numbers. I'm very taking a very basic example because now everyone can understand that there's a 10 numbers and you have to find largest number, or you have to sort a list, or you have to search a number in the list. So when you try to solve these kind of problems, it helps your enhancing your problem solving skills. It helps your logical thinking. So you have to apply logics. And then the last thing is, programming is fun. Those who have done it would know it. It's just so much fun to do programming. For example, you make games. All the games you play and enjoy, who make them? The programmers, the coders, they make them.